As the Faversham Fringe segues into its third week, I am continuing to engage with some of the very talented individuals who will be performing in the three Fringe venues until the 26th of October. Today I'm talking to Charmian Hughes about her show Charmarama in the Alexander Centre at 8:30 on Friday, the 17th of October. Hi Charmian, how are you doing today?
Hi, Wendy. I'm fine, thanks.
Good, good, good. So Charmian, what inspired the show Charmarama?
Well, I have been doing stand-up comedy for decades now, and all the comedy shows I've done that are like a whole solo show usually have a theme and a story. But I'm mainly a stand-up comic, and I decided I was going to do a show that was going to be purely stand-up comedy, and that everything I expressed, any stories I told, were going to be through routines and jokes, with no sad bits, because that's what I do best.
So, okay, jokes, stories. What is it all about? I mean, where do you go with your show?
Well, I am about to be next year. I'm going to be sweet 70 without the N. And so I've been doing stand-up comedy all these years. I'm in a very privileged position as a late middle-aged woman. At a time when we're really invisible, I have all this attention. When I'm on stage, I have complete attention. At an age where you are really not seen. So I can have as much fun as possible. So it's about my age, about my life, about my young husband, my dog. I've become an intrepid traveler in the last 10 years, going to Japan and New Zealand. So it's through my kind of wacky point of view. I suppose I was described in New Zealand as a mad aunt on acid. But I think maybe I'm more like a posh dinner lady. So that's what it is. That's my show. Charmarama is a kind of panorama of life from my point of view that brings in the audience, soon become their point of view too.
Okay. So from that point of view, you think there will be themes and stories that you're telling that will connect with your Faversham audience?
Yes, totally. I'm all about connecting with my audience. And often I find people come up and will say, my family's just like that, which amazes me because I thought mine was unique and bonkers, but apparently it's a universal thing.
So you're hoping your audience will laugh throughout, but are you going to pull out any other emotion from them?
Well, I might have a little musical bit at the end, which I hope will extract horror and disbelief from them, but in a funny way. They'll find me very cheeky. They might find me a bit rude. I was told when I was doing some gigs this weekend that it was just amazing to see an older person talking about the things I talk about, which are things that everybody thinks about. You just don't see it normally.
All right. So stand up must be both exhilarating but horrendously nerve-wracking at times. Do you have any
Mm.
unforgettable moments you'd like to share?
I did a show about being 60, so it's a while ago. I went all the way to New Zealand. I did a show called Soissons Mirth. Nobody could pronounce the title. Or in New Zealand, they didn't really know what it meant. And I did my show. I love my show. And I remember doing it to like complete silence. And I thought, oh God, what's going on? And at the end of it, the audience burst into unanimous applause. And as I went up, they were shaking my hand and crying because they felt they could relate so deeply to the idea of looking back at your life and encountering your younger self, which was what my show was about. But it was a terrible shock because I thought this is not going well, but it was going amazingly well. So I
Awesome.
got nominated for something at the end of that for a comedy prize.
Right.
So that's one end of it, and the other end of it is doing a place called the Tunnel Club. When I first started doing comedy, and the audience were notoriously awful but very witty, and they were banned from booing people off because they booed it, so they hummed people off, and I got hummed off stage to this wonderful choral, beautiful sound of the human voice telling me to scarper. So I had to laugh, but afterwards, I thought, God. Anyway, it made me a better comic.
There we are. So, what do you hope your audience at the Faversham Fringe is going to take away from your show? What are they going to say about you, the show, and how are they going to feel about it?
I think they're going to come away with a new kind of optimism about life, and they'll laugh a lot, and they'll just have viewed things in a bit of a sillier way, which is we live in very worrying and scary times. And my attitude is we have to be grateful for small things. We might be surrounded by illness and failure and poverty, but I think let's just rejoice in the fact we have a bus service. That's my attitude. So I hope they'll feel exhilarated and they'll look at things in a different way. They'll feel happier and uplifted.
Brilliant. So, you've heard it from Charmian, and I gather she might talk about nuns and swans and sex and marriage.
Absolutely. I'm an ex-convent girl. We weren't told anything about sex. We had to find out for ourselves through very undependable literary sources. So knew even less by the end. Yeah.
Do you want to know more? Go and see Charmian Hughes in her show Charmarama in the Alexander Centre at 8:30 on Friday the 17th of October. Tickets are online at favershamfringe.co.uk/what's-on. Charmarama has been described as joyfully silly, solidly fantastic stand-up, and I think that might be spot on. Do go and find out for yourself. Thank you, Charmian, for talking to Radio Faversham and the people of Faversham today, and good luck with the show.
Thank you, Wendy.